My name is Tom Moloney. I am the Managing Director of Construction Information Services, and we are the proud sponsors of today's National Construction Summit. Those of you who are here this morning would have heard some very interesting speakers on a broad range of topics, which I'm glad to say were very encouraging and insightful. Minister Coffey informed us of what was happening on the Government 2020 strategy and the Government's commitment to overcome many of the obstacles that are incurred and is delaying the current progression in construction. Brendan McDonagh, CEO of NAMA, gave a very insightful and backdrop and also a forward-looking plan as to what NAMA's continued role will be over the next few years. So the format for the afternoon is we have 4 speakers: Peter Stafford, Director of Property Industry Ireland; Jim Curran, Head of Estates with HSE; Michael Dow, Chief Economist with Barber ABI UK; and Dermot Reedy, Senior Development Advisor with Enterprise Ireland. We will then break for a panel discussion with the topic of what lessons have we learned, and 3 relatively unknown panellists: Shane Ross, TD; Eamon Ryan, Green Party; and Hubert Fitzpatrick from the CIF, and will be facilitated by Paul Cunningham, RTE's journalist and presenter. And then we round up the afternoon with presentations from Alan Hendry, Director of Sustainability with Jacobs Engineering, and Paul Clegg, Dublin City Council, who will present to us on the Dublin Docklands. CIS, for those of you who don't know who we are the leading provider of construction information for the 32 counties, covering all sectors, all stages and all provinces. We've been doing in this business for over 32 years. 1972 is our first publication. And similar to many of you here today, CIS was a front seat passenger in the freight train that crashed headlong into the recession. Excuse me. My business contracted by 63% at its lowest point. But we persevered and we steered ourselves carefully back to where we are now in recovery mode. The success of CIS is its experienced research team, who monitor and track all the projects, as I said, at all stages. They're in touch with the key players, and so they're able to work with our customers in identifying where activity is taking place, when, and the scale and cost of it. I'm glad to say that in January of this year we published a report highlighting over 500 key construction developments throughout Ireland. And these developments covered all sectors, from industrial, commercial, educational, and these projects were worth in excess of 11 billion. Since that report was issued in January, for the first 5 months, our research team have experienced a 29% increase, once again across all sectors, worth in excess of 300 billion. These are projects that are that have been granted permission and therefore ready to proceed to tender, pre-contract or on site. To give you a broad analysis of that 29%, industrial is up 43%, commercial and educational 25%, hotel and catering 31%, sport and leisure 42%, medical and care residential 82%, and residential developments, those being major, 27%. When looked at on a region-by basis, it will be no surprise to see that Leinster leads the way with 33%, followed by Munster and Connacht, 22% and 24% respectively, the Northern Counties 28%, and Northern Ireland 33%. There are major challenges that were outlined today in terms of the construction industry, those being the planning, construction professionals, right across from tradesmen to bunch surveyors to consulting engineers. And I know the CIF are working hard on the ground trying to attract these young professionals who all left their country in their droves from around 2009-10. CIS believe firmly that, based on the information that is coming through, that the industry is indeed in recovery, and that also I believe that was substantiated this morning by listening to the various speakers from Sherry Fitzgerald, NAMA, the government, that the future for the sector is looking indeed bright. So, to move on, and for the afternoon, I would like to call upon Peter Stafford. He's Director with Property Industry Ireland. A bit about Peter: he is a former Director of Policy and Public Affairs at the Society for Chartered Surveyors, and Research and Policy Executive with the Construction Industry Federation. And I'd now like to call on Peter to give us his presentation on where he sees the property industry in Ireland. Thank you.